getting the lighting here. I wonder if is the pixelation really that bad? Anyway, tonight I wanted to talk about um, how I feel so tired. um, I remember when I was in my early 20s, um, telling people that I worked with that I felt 45. And I'm now 38. And I feel both younger and even older at the same time. I just, I want to say my productivity has gone down, but I mean, if I'm really being, I don't know, my 3D productivity has probably gone down, but my inside productivity has probably gone up. It doesn't help the 3D. Like, honestly, I mean, yeah, spiritually, if you're healed inside and all that, that's good. You're working things out, that's good. But the 3D world doesn't care about that. Nobody cares about that. You know, when you see people and they're like, oh, what have you been doing? And you're like, I've been working on myself. They're like, oh, so you're a bum. You don't do anything. You know? Um, what brought this on was just realizing, like, I got a new calendar, a new wall calendar, and I was looking at the old one, and looking through the months, just flipping through and realizing how much of my time I spend trying to control my head and my emotions and my anxiety. So much time. It's like my anxiety was triggered for personal reasons on Wednesday, and Thursday was bad. Thursday, my anxiety was terrible. And when I say that, I really mean, like, it's the kind where you can't get out of your head. You know, it's just racing, circular, anxious worries and stresses, and then being like caught, like literally caught in just like traumatic events that you can't get yourself out of, you know, and just reliving it all over again. Hey, Deadeye Deck, what's up? And yesterday, even though my anxiety was really, really bad, I did conquer it, but it took so much effort. And so all I did yesterday was, for the whole day, somehow this takes the whole day and time just flies, you know, but I'm just constantly deep breathing and like taking like my 3 deep breaths, literally shaking out my hands, trying to stretch and unclench my hands, because they just immediately, I can feel them. They just start to go like this. And then like my jaw clenches. And that's a huge trigger for migraines. I used to get migraines. Well, they're less and less, but I get migraines sometimes. And I know a lot of it is just from prolonged tension. And so anyway, yesterday I did so much mind work trying to control my brain, trying to get thoughts out of my head, clear my head, relax my body. Um, you know, and so when you do these things, it's hard to pay attention to the 3D world. You can't, you know, but it's just like irritating you, because you have to eat, you got to take care of whoever you got to take care of, your pets, or whatever, your house. And it was so tough. It was so tough. It was so tough that uh, today I just have like no mental bandwidth. I have nothing left. I have nothing left, you know, and this happens all the time, you know, and so that took up like 2.5 days. These last 2.5 days have literally flown by. It feels like it's been 2 hours, you know. And it's just like, God, and I've just been doing this. This is what I do. This is what I do a lot. And I'm getting better. I am getting better. This whole pandemic I have spent trying to fix my head and my emotions and my heart and all that shit. And I just think, God, I'm only 38. I'm only 38. When is this? Is this going to stop? I don't know. This has to change, this has to change. I cannot live the rest of my life like this. Like, how can I live the rest of my life like this? And it's just either other people are putting up really good facades. I feel like even when I explain what I go through, it doesn't really explain what I go through. It's like telling someone you went through labor that's never been through labor before, and they're like, oh, wow, I hear that's hard. They don't know. They have no idea. So you've gone through it. I feel I've always felt very young. I've always felt very young, but I've always felt very old at the same time. And this weird dichotomy has caused people to look at me at every age as if I'm some kind of strange alien that they can't place. They're like, how old are you? You seem too young, and yet, like, I don't know, too experienced in different places, too wise in different places. And I don't know. I just don't know what to do about it. I just hope I just, it has to change. It has to get better. A big thing with me is one thing that I've seen is with other people that go through similar struggles that I do, is that other people seem to have some kind of support system. And whether it's a few or a lot, people have support systems. And I know that for some reason, that's been a huge challenge in my life, where even at a young age, it's like my support systems were taken away. I didn't really have a real childhood, you know, and I've just been forced to do things and deal with things and take care of things and other people all on my own. And that is just, support systems are so important. I think I wouldn't know. I don't know. All I know is that other people seem to not be as traumatized. And that seems to be a difference that I notice, is that they have support systems. I'm not going to cry, because who gives a fuck? I give a fuck. But who gives a fuck? It's just, I don't know why this has been my continued lot in life. And I've sought out support systems. I've sought out groups. I just feel like I'm just this sojourner. And I just feel like I need to just start telling people when I meet them. And I started doing that. Like, look, I think you're cool and all that, but life doesn't seem to let me stay around very long for whatever reason. And I feel like I just pop into people's lives, into different families, different social groups, and just be like, hey, can I be here? Can I be one of you? And some people are kind, and they're like, sure, you can come in for a little while. But eventually I get, for one reason or another, I have to leave, or I get pushed out or whatever. And because I don't belong there, and it's just like, okay, so where do I belong? Nowhere. And I don't want to hear anything about like, oh, you just have to find strength and wholeness inside yourself. Okay, first, I have done that. I've been doing that, and that is real. But that's also partially a cop-out as well. You have to find strength in this, because the people who say that are people who don't know, are people who are able to find strength in other people and support in other people. And I've never met anyone who has had the kind of chaotic life that I have had. And I'm just so tired, you guys. I'm just so tired. I'm just so tired of picking myself back up so tired of rebuilding myself. And it is, I feel like I am getting stronger, but the pace is so slow. The pace is so slow, and I just keep thinking, God, if I had, why am I the only person who doesn't get anyone? How come I don't get anyone? You know? I don't know. I got oh, thank you. Someone commenting here. They said, "Don't be sad. You're the best." That's really nice. That's really nice. Thanks. I'm trying to think of examples that I can give you. But just everything seems so personal, and everything involves other people, and I just always feel like I'm gonna betray other people's privacy and other people's trust and things. And I don't have any advice or anything. I just, I was excited that my anxiety from yesterday was calmed, and it almost seems like when I go through these like episodes that I have, like it almost, it's like a type of panic attack, but it's not a panic attack. Like I used to know people who had panic attacks, and I'm getting like worked up just thinking about it. But they describe like feeling like they're going to die, like they feel like they're going to have a heart attack, and I don't feel that way, but I do feel like adrenaline starts pumping through my system, and it shows, and I can't control it. It's really hard to slow it down, and for me it takes like 2 days or a day and a half to slow it down. I need to calm down right now. Anyway, today I realized I'd wasted so much time just with anxiety that that I wanted to be productive today. I have things I have to do and I want to do, but it's just being capable of doing them, and that's what's so frustrating is I feel like I only am allowed like 3 real good days out of the week, and I don't have a real 7 days. And then people don't understand why I feel like I get smothered so easily, because once I come out of my coma, suddenly everyone's needing to get in contact with me or talk to me. And I just feel like, oh my God, like, and they're like, we haven't seen you for a long time. And to me, it just seems like yesterday, because I've just been in my head. I've been trying to get to a place where I can be functional, and I'm finally there, and so I feel like I just saw everyone yesterday. I feel like the world moves so fast, and the world moves at a much faster pace than I do. And I do feel like that things do work out on some level. And I do look back on all my instances and I think about how they could have been worse, and how, if I look at it in a certain perspective, that it was like I was cradled a little bit through those experiences, but maybe I'm just trying to find a silver lining or something. I don't know. Sometimes I'm so thankful for the way I exist and for the experiences I've had. And other times I just think, okay, that's enough. Or why did this have to happen? Why do all these things happen to me? Why is this my existence? Why am I so alone in my existence? And people say that psychologists and stuff, that kids like this tend to have a lot of like imaginary friends. And I never did. I never had imaginary friends, and I can see why, because if I didn't really get or care for people in the real world, why would I make them up? You know, like I would just be like, oh, I don't, I don't like this human species. Then I don't think so. But I did spend a lot of time in my head, and I was really, really, um, I was so passionate about the imagination. You know, that was something that it was like my credo for a really long time. And because I think that's where I spent a lot of my time. And I have to breathe, sorry. Anyway, and I think, you know, like I've never had kids, and I love kids. I love kids, but and I feel like I could have done it. I could have had children in my 20s, but now it's just like, and I mean, Mother Nature might have taken care of that already. I have no idea now since I'm 38, but it's just like, God, what if I got pregnant now? What would I do? I can't be a parent in this condition. Like, and then I think of all these other people who, well, I mean, I don't know them, but I'm sure there are other people with this condition who do have kids. And I'm just like, oh my God, like that would be terrible for both them and the child, you know, just because it's hard for me to take care of my dog when I can hardly take care of myself. You know, it's called animal control or anything. She's fed every day and ran every day, and she's fine. Almost every day, anyway. But it's like my nervous system is like a coiled wire with a really thick sheath. It's like everyone, if you think of everyone's nervous system like that, okay? And at this point, it's gone through so much that like my sheath is completely gone, especially in certain parts of myself. There's no sheath anymore, and so like when it gets stimulated or when it encounters something that it should be so trivial, it shouldn't be a big deal, like it just freaks out because it feels so strong. It's like, and I know a lot of that has to just be like ingrained anxiety. Like my subconscious is just freaking out because this has happened over and over and over again, and now it thinks something really dangerous is happening when nothing dangerous is happening, you know. Wesley, Wesley's here in the chat, and he says, I've gone through this and I still struggle a bit. Hang in there. I mean, how did it start to change for you? Did something happen in your life? Did a person come into your life? Was it things that you did and you just slowly got better? You know? He says, I push it out through music. You can do that also. Yeah, I used to do that. I used to do that. Right now, it's like when it happens, though, I can't do anything. I can't pick up a guitar. I can't pick up a banjo. I can't sing. I can't do it. This takes me out of myself more than anything I've ever experienced. Like it just keeps getting stronger. Yeah, I talked to someone about medication, not a healthcare provider, but just a friend, just about who also kind of has similar struggles. And I was like, man, I think more and more about medication. And unfortunately, in this town, a huge pill mill was busted, like a few years back, and now I don't know if it's all over Indiana or if it's just here, but like you can't get anything. You can't. It's so hard to get anxiety meds now. You know. Aw, someone said they liked my dance video. I do that. I do still dance. That does help when I come back or when I'm trying to like, if I can catch my anxiety really early, you know. No, Halo 7 says, I'm 39, childless, and proud of the decision. You're wise enough to know that you're breaking generational abuse. You know your faults, but you especially know where you shine. Thank you. That just kind of make me feel better. Honestly, LOL, I did that dance. Good. Cool. Did you like it? Did it work well? Or was it just something you tried once and you were like, okay, that's cool? If you're watching this the first time, I did a dance demonstration video where I just like dance out anxiety. I couldn't put any music on it though because of copyright and stuff. Oh, guys. I don't know what I'm going to do with myself. You're welcome. You said it was fun and it did help. You're welcome. Yeah. Oh, gosh, you guys. This is just like leftovers. I just get like leftover waves the day after of just like tension and sweating and adrenaline. I don't know how I have made it this long without having a 9 to 5. That's what you call it, but whatever. Like a company job where you work for someone and you get a paycheck. Last time was 2017. And things just keep working out where I just get like a little bit, like I'm still good for a little bit, and then I'm still good for a little bit, and then I'm still good for a little bit. And I am so grateful for that. Somehow I mean, that has always happened to me. I've never been rich, but I've been fortunate enough for some reason. Like it's worked out where I am able to get by, you know, and especially now, you know, because I don't know how I would do it. I don't know how I could explain to an employer, you know, why I can't come in, or if I did come in that condition, I would look like a crazy freak, you know, like I would look like I was on speed or something. I don't know. I just like I feel unfit for the workforce. That's what I feel like. I feel like I have to find ways to make money at home because I feel unfit. And I know because I was in the workforce, you know, from I don't know, 19 until I was 33. What time is it for you? Wish we could all come around for a cuppa, but I'm too far away. Yeah. It's 11:29 right now, 11:30 p.m. I wish you guys could too. I wish we could all get together. I think, I think, even though I have a kind of a small little niche community, if you want to call it that, I feel like we're all over the place. I don't think any of us are near each other. Someone says I was out of work for 2 months because of anxiety and a bad reaction to Zoloft. Yeah. Yeah, I had an ex who struggled finding anxiety medications that would work because they have so many side effects. 11:30 in Boston. Oh, that's crazy. That's crazy that it can be the same time in Boston as it is in Indiana. It's really weird. Instead, yeah, that's what I try to do. I try to remind myself, but it just doesn't happen all the time, but it is happening more. No Halo says, instead of dwelling on what you didn't do, what are the things you did do today? Yeah, and I'll just say Jamie, and I'll say it out loud, and I'll be like today, what did we do today? We we washed our face and brushed our teeth. We cooked food for ourselves. We took care of our dog. You know, we didn't get what we want, but we got what we could, and that in itself is a great thing. Yeah, I guess so. I want what I want. I'm sorry. I want what I want, you know? Oh, Deadeye Duck 428 in the UK. Oh, in the morning or in the afternoon? How is Lady? She good? Yeah, she is. She's asleep in her little. She's got a little spot right next to my bed. She's cozied up. Sometimes she does sleep on the bed with me, but then she'll move to her little bed anyway, just because she doesn't like to be disturbed, and I think I moved too much for her or something. You know, it takes me a second to get settled. Yeah, she's doing really well. You know, she's honestly so sweet. Even though I get frustrated sometimes, like when I have a hard time taking care of myself, I get frustrated with her, uh, like that she needs something or something, just because I'm like this, you know. And but she really is like the best dog, especially for me to have, because she really is so patient. And on days when I'm having a hard time, or I have a migraine, even, like she like senses it, and she's not like loud and not trying to get me out of bed. And I don't know, she's just so patient with me. She really is, and so kind. She's the sweetest little spirit. And every time I get frustrated, like I'm like, what? Then I feel bad, and I'm like, I'm sorry, baby, I'm so sorry. I'm just frustrated with myself. And then that's what makes me think of the kid thing. I'm like, oh my god, like, this is just a dog. What if this was a baby? What? uh 9:30 in Phoenix. In the morning? In the mornshine? Wow. Have you been up all night, or are you getting up early? Someone's up in the UK at 4:30. I've only been to the UK once. You sold her, hand her over. Someone said that about Lady. I've been to the UK once, but it wasn't really even that I went there. It was a connecting flight, and but and maybe Dead Eye Duck, you might know what, um I don't know where you are, I guess, but we landed at some airport in London, and as we were circling, we really could see, and it was just like what I pictured as an American picturing London, like all of these really cool, like old style buildings when it was winter, and so they were just like decorated in snow, and it was just gorgeous looking. It was like, I don't know how to describe it. It had class, and like I was like, wow. And, and the airport that, because we were stuck there for a couple hours, and it was seriously like the poshest airport I've ever been in. Like, I don't know how to describe it. I just felt like a hillbilly. I was like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for myself. uh, Someone says I take buspirone now. It works well. One of my dogs has anxiety also. We are perfect for each other. Yeah, that's how I feel about Lady. She has a lot of really weird, like, anxiety quirks. Like, even though she eats in the house and she's safe, she she can only eat her food if I'm watching her and paying attention to her, and she's checked the door to make sure there's no one outside, and then she feels safe enough to eat. But if I stop paying attention to her, even if I'm staring at her while she's eating, she'll stop eating and come sit by me and be like, She has all these weird little OCD things, and she's had kind of a tough go of it too. And we are kind of perfect for each other. So I totally hear you. Yeah, me and Lady are totally like that. Oh, cool. Well, my floor is yours if you guys want to tour over here. Oh, that'd be awesome. Tour in the UK. Does she have noise sensitivity? I mean, she's hyper alert, but is that what you mean? Like she doesn't freak out at noise. She's not very vocal. She's not a very vocal animal. She does bark sometimes, but she doesn't. She's very reserved, and so she will seem alert or whatever. She'll do that kind of thing. She hears stuff I don't hear all the time. I live in a building with other people too, so. Oh, old school Dave. Is that really you? Am I thinking of the right person? Who are you, old school Dave? Do you have a schoolie? Or am I thinking of a different person? I mean, like chomping and shaking. Oh. No, I don't think so. She doesn't do that. Is that what your puppy does? That sounds sad. Poor thing. This is kind of helping, I guess, talking about something else. Guys, I just feel like I want to believe in balance. I want to believe that life seeks balance, kind of like how your body seeks homeostasis, you know? I don't know if I used that word right in that sentence, but like it tries to keep everything at the right, like at the right temperature, at the right amount. Like your body's constantly trying to correct itself to stay in these levels that it needs. It needs balance, you know? And I want to believe that the world is that way as well. And, but I just don't know because I only know my experience, you know? And I mean, I know there are some people who never experience balance in the 3D world. At least I think. But I just feel like I have earned another 38 years of ease and goodness and happiness and support and stability. I feel like I've earned these things. But I mean, I know I'm not the only person, and surely not everyone gets that, you know? But it's just, I just feel like I've had such a deficit. You know, it's like, and maybe this is just what it's like to come from poverty. I don't know, you know, maybe I'm just like, maybe this just is the poverty experience. I don't know. Josh says, howdy from NorCal. Am I late to the party? Glad to see a smile after the title, but I get feeling that way often as well. Yeah. Ebb and flow. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I am ready for the flow. That's cool to use that word. That's been like kind of a mantra of mine throughout the whole pandemic is flow. And it seems to work. You know, it is a much less stressful way of experiencing life instead of trying to like row upstream or control everything, is to just flow with it. And like even like day to day, even minute to minute, you know, and oh guys, I wish I didn't live here. Not like this specific building. I mean, like, I've always felt this way. I've always been like, why was I born here? Is this a mistake? Like, I will admit, even though this sounds ridiculous, I, um, for the longest time, until I just recently got in, I didn't have a copy of my birth certificate, and I ordered a copy of my birth certificate last June, and it just came in today. And so it confirmed that I am the daughter of both my parents and that I was born here. But until I saw that, I was like, partially a little thing in my mind was like, yeah, I would totally understand. Like, it was like, oh, I belong to someone else. I was born somewhere else. Somehow I got here. It's just, ugh, the world is so backwards here, guys. It's not. It's just so stuck in another realm that an ancient realm that doesn't want to change. You know, that's full of misogyny and tradition, and you have to do things a certain way, and people are afraid of things that are different, and so that includes me. Oh, here's a fun thing. I don't know if any of you guys are into astrology, and I won't go into this. I'm not really, like, I don't know a whole lot, but it was a fun thing that I was able to distract myself with throughout the pandemic periodically, was learning about what's called my astrological birth chart. And according to my birth chart, I found out today, because you can only know what your birth chart is when you have your time of birth. So I got my birth certificate, and according to my birth chart, I am a person that people will both be really intrigued by and completely frightened of at the same time. I was like, yeah, okay. I guess that explains. I mean, that fits, I guess. Yeah, that's my experience. It's like people don't know what to do with me. They're scared and intrigued by me at the same time. No, Halo says, if there was balance in the world, we wouldn't have musicians and poets. God, that's so true, I guess. I want to be normal and see the world through rose-colored glasses. I want to be at peace. I'm positive we'll find it one day. I don't want to be normal. I don't want to be like all those people they call normal. But I know what you mean if you're saying, like, you don't want to have to deal with all of these, like, demons that hold you back, so to speak. But those same demons are what pull out art, like you were saying. They pull out music and poetry, and it's like a double-edged sword. Or maybe at one time I told a friend once that I thought maybe creativity was something that's unlocked in the brain in response to struggle as a sort of healing mechanism. You know, it's just a thought. I don't know if it's all the way true. But yeah, I'm positive we'll find it one day too. Especially since, like, now that's what I seek. Like, I'm seeking peace now. I wasn't really seeking peace before. I was just trying to make it in the crazy world, and now I'm seeking peace. And in doing that, I really am just being crazy brave and just cutting out shit, man. I'm just like, you don't bring me peace, get the fuck out. You know, that's I'm sorry. I don't care who you are or what you are. I'm To me, that does make sense. You know, some people are. I was born into a really chaotic and kind of situation, really kind of outside of my family's control too. It was just, a perfect storm. We were all, and you don't know, but I'm trying to explain without betraying other people's privacy. But and what was my point? I totally forget what my point was. I was seeking peace. I was born into a chaotic situation. Nobody helps out the losers out of the lost. The lost only become the losers. We lose ourselves helping ourselves to more. That's interesting. I'll have to think about that stream of thought. Writing and art keeps me sane, says Wesley. Yeah. That thought is absolutely true. I can't. Maybe I need to work on that. I find that now I get so out of this space, out of this. I don't know how to call it. I don't know how to describe it. That I can't. It's like the 3D world isn't here, and I can't direct it into art anymore. I have to be somewhat sane. I have to be somewhat here. I have to be over it somewhat to then be able to pour out what happened, or but in the midst of it, it's really hard for me to focus enough. So maybe I need to work on that probably. Stay positive and love your life. Yeah, I keep trying to find ways to do that. That's why you see, it's just it's tiring. It's tiring constantly trying to gaslight yourself, you know. It's hard. Literally, yes, the other day I was thinking, I don't remember. I don't have a memory of someone like hugging me and telling me everything's going to be okay. Like, I don't have a memory of that. And so I've just had to do that to myself. And I just feel like a train that's just like losing steam. You know? We're still going, but it's just like when I talk to you guys about it, it makes me laugh. When I think about it in my head, it doesn't make me laugh. So this is really good. Maybe I should get on here and do this more often. Stay positive. Deadeye Duck says, "You're the best, mate, and it's so great us lot can hang out together like this. You do me a favor and pick a book off that shelf that I need to read. I've run out of books. Give me a new one." Okay, I got one. All right, so this is called Spirit Woman. It does. Oh my gosh, there aren't very many characters in this. They may be mostly female, but it's not like a girl book. It really, they don't have to be female. They just happen to be female. But this is kind of like a memoir of this writer, I think she was, who went and studied with these like Native American shaman women in Canada. And that's what this is. And this was so cool. This was such a cool read. It's called Spirit Woman, The Teaching of the Shields by Lynn Andrews. It was really, really cool. There's actually a book preceding this. I don't know if there's one after it that I haven't read that I want to find and get. But I really loved this book. So this is my recommendation. So you feel like you're stuck in the abyss. Yes. There is, I've heard people say that there's some kind of space. I mean, who knows, whatever, but there's like a space between like this conscious world here and then like if you believe in some kind of energetic world outside of this 3D world, that there's like a limbo space that a lot of people like who have near-death experiences say they go to. It sounds a lot like those experiences. And I feel like I can go there and I just get stuck there. if I go there with pleasant intention, then it's great. But if I get thrown there into chaos, it's really hard to get out. This sounds really like woo woo. Maybe it kind of is, but it's just my experience. Um, Josh Rowenfeld, a group of monks has been visiting my town this last week, and I have been going to some of the blessings. Wow. And sand mandala sessions. It makes me realize how necessarily complicated we are here. Yeah, I do find that to be true. When I make things simpler, things seem more beautiful, and it does help center me and bring me back to a good spot. Yeah, gosh, that sounds so cool. Oh, I wish, Josh, where are you at? What state are you in? Are you in another country? That sounds awesome. We don't get monks. There are no monks in Indiana. Wesley, she's lying. It's a romance novel. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, there's no relationships or anything. It literally is like they go get stuck. They're not stuck, but she goes out into like the middle of nowhere, where these shaman women are, and she like gets trained by them basically, like, and it's all from her perspective. And so she sounded like that when she went into this experience, she wasn't like woke at all as far as like a spiritual kind of existence in the 3D world or in her head or anything. And so it really was like a huge shock for her, and she didn't know what was going on. But it was it was just a real eye-opening for her. But it was really neat. Oh, cool. He says it's a deal. I will pick it up tomorrow. I'll let you know for reals. Yeah. Let me know if you like it, what you think. Wesley says, yeah, this is purgatory. You're right. Stuck in limbo. Yeah. Oh. No, Halo says gaslighting yourself and laughing about it. Sometimes it feels like that. I got to find something that I believe to tell myself. I can't just tell myself something the way that I want it to be when I don't really feel like it's that way. And then that's where I go toward what Josh was saying, kind of where I'm alluding to. Like I try to make it simpler. I just make it even simpler, and I try to, like the other day I was standing in my kitchen and I suddenly noticed my sink, and I like saw my sink in a different way. And I was like, I have a sink. And it gives me water whenever I need it, hot or cold. I don't have to worry about cleaning it up or where it goes or if I'm going to get any water. And it's my sink. I'm an adult with a sink, somehow I have this place. How do I have this place? How do I have this place to live? And so I don't know. Yeah. And I was trying just little things like that to be grateful for, I guess, to find beauty in. You just really have to me, I have to really separate myself sometimes from the standards of other people and the standards of the world. I cannot compare myself to other people, because that is a rabbit hole of despair. I have to just acknowledge that I have my own flow in my own rhythms, and that's okay. That's fine, because all that matters to my existence is being true to that. I try to think I should be like someone else. This all sounds pretty cliche, then it makes you unhappy. Wesley says, try some psilocybin or ayahuasca. Man, ayahuasca, here's the thing. I'm not into, I think this has protected me kind of with experiences. I'm not into experiences that look severely physically uncomfortable. And since I'm a person who's gone through periods of having lots of migraines, I get real nauseous with those migraines, and I hate nausea. more than any other feeling as a human at this point. I hate nausea. And everyone who does ayahuasca says that they get nauseous and vomit and diarrhea and all that stuff. And I'm like, that sounds terrible. Sounds terrible. and and so I don't know what I've heard other people when they come out of like ayahuasca experiences and they talk about like the kind of things that the epiphanies they've had and things like that. It sounds like a more sped up, in your face way of doing what I kind of did do, but I did it with marijuana, and I did it over a long period of time with a lot of meditation and cannabis, and I would go inward. And this sounds really, I don't know what it sounds like, but and then and that's what kind of begun, like all those, when you start seeing those videos I started making about lessons from old love letters and things like that, and I started making different types of videos because that's what I was doing. I was really going inward and approaching things and seeing things from a different perspective and kind of rewriting my story in that way. And cannabis is a lot more comfortable to do that with than in ayahuasca. Now, it took me a long time, like a year and a half of this kind of thing, to feel like I really like wow, it was so healing. It was such a life-changing experience. Instead of with ayahuasca, it's like a weekend or something, or a week, or I know the effects last longer, I hear. And so theirs was more intense, and maybe that's why your body reacts more intensely to it. But I don't know. At this point in my life, I'm not interested in ayahuasca because I deal with so much physical discomfort on a daily basis because of how my nervous system reacts to like my anxiety and stuff. And so maybe at a different point in my life, I can kind of see myself maybe being interested in it when I'm older, like a lot older. But right now, I would just love to be physically comfortable, you know, not arguing with my adrenaline and having to like shake out the shakes and deep breathe and all that stuff. Like, I'm just trying to get comfortable, you know. Oh, mushrooms, people talking about low doses of mushrooms. It boosts your spirit and fills you with love. Yeah, that's interesting. Lots of people have said that about mushrooms. A long time ago, I took a pinch of psychedelic mushrooms, and it wasn't enough to have like a trip, but I just kind of wanted to see what the effect was, and it only lasted for like, I don't know, a couple hours. It wasn't very strong at all. It was just, I just wanted to see kind of what it did for my body, and literally, you know, and and I did not like it. I did not like it at all. You know, on my New Year's Eve thing, I talked about my experiences with LSD a little bit, and how and LSD takes you to a lighter place. I feel where I felt like mushrooms opened up not only your light side but also your carnal side, this earthly, deep carnal side, and maybe it was just where I was at that point when I tried it, that little pinch, but I was not a fan. I was like, oh, I don't like this. It made me feel, that was the first time I ever felt like one of those terrible stereotypes on movies about people who try psychedelics, you know, where they're like, you're a crazy druggie, you know, and that was like, oh my God, yeah, like I don't know if I can control myself. That was just my personal experience. And I think when you do psychedelics, you really need to pay attention to where you're at in your head, because I feel like if your spirit is unhealthy, whatever is inside is going to come out, you know. And so at least that's my experience. And so it very well could have just been where I was at personally, and that's why I didn't like that little introduction I had. But after that, I was like, no, okay. I think I'll not try that. So again, that's something that like maybe later in life, if an opportunity comes up and I feel good and I feel like I would want to kind of try that again. But yeah, that when I did try it, I wasn't a huge fan actually, which is funny because I love mushrooms. Like in general, like I think they're so cute and I love eating them. And like I have mushrooms as like decor. Like there's, in that thing if there was mushrooms. But so you would think that it would just be all shroomy and like, yeah, psychedelic mushrooms. But it's not right now. It's not like not really into it. But lots of other people have different experiences and they like it. So Wesley says, yeah, ayahuasca sucks at the time, but it helps. He says he's done everything. No Halo says, no, I understand. First male generation born to a Catholic family here in the United States. I was supposed to follow in this weird religious tradition, keep the bloodline going, all that shit. Wow. Yeah. Needless to say, everything is my fault, even when it isn't. Yeah. Yeah. Microdose, everyone is different. I hate LSD. Oh, wow. See, I think maybe it just has to do with your personal chemistry. Because you hate LSD and you like microdosing, and I was the opposite. Go into a trip with a positive state. Yeah. You have to be I think it's good to be in a positive state and embrace yourself. Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah. That's what I think. Whatever is inside will come out. That's a great quote. I guess that can apply to you in a lot of ways. Nothing sets my reset button like 5Gs. Do you mean dollars? Because, yeah. Financial stability, man, it's something that it's so insidious. Like you don't even realize that it is a constant stress to you when you're in a financial situation that's not completely stable as opposed to when you are. And I've really gone back and forth in my life with that experience when it comes to money. And I can totally verify that, and that's why poverty is the silent killer. Oh, he means mushrooms. Nothing sets my reset button like, okay, I get it. 5 grams of mushrooms. Yeah, I know another person like that. Who just finds it so healing. It's so healing for them. They don't do it all the time, but they do it selectively and deliberately. And it's for that kind of like a reset and like a kind of like a healing thing too, And plus they love the visuals and stuff. They're creative and they think it's, they like that part of it. Guys, have we been talking for an hour? Wow. I like these lives. I don't have to do anything. I don't have to edit videos or try to upload it. I just get on here and it's done. No Halo says, I tried shrooms with 4 other people and they didn't hit for me. Had to watch the rest of the homies trip balls and I'm just there with a beer watching at bangers. I've heard that before. With shrooms that it didn't do anything for that person. I wonder what you're like in real life. Are you a person like people assumed that I smoked weed way before I ever tried it. They just assumed I was because of my natural nature. And in case there's any legal people, I don't have any weed. I'm not smoking weed. You're not gonna find anything here. This is all the past. But what was I saying? They tried shrooms. Oh gosh, I keep forgetting what I'm talking about. Before the people, and they didn't hit. But yeah, I've heard that before. That someone else, they tried shrooms that didn't hit. I've also seen people with LSD be like that. For some reason, it didn't do anything like that. So yeah, I was wondering what your kind of nature is, like what your spirit is like. And maybe your spirit's like, we don't need this. We got this. We do this all the time. Because I don't know. I don't know if that makes any sense at all. But yeah, people. It took. I didn't mess around or experiment with psychedelics or anything like that, even alcohol, until I was well into my 20s. And people were shocked when they're like, I just assumed you always did. And I'm like, no, nope, never did. Aw, since you chirped up, I'm so glad. Oh, cool. You were editing music. Oh, you're a musician. I'm writing music. I'm writing music right now. Do you write, or are you simply like straight a producer? You know, you mix and master. Or do you do all of it to your own music? Because I'm finding that I'm starting to see that it would be really beneficial for me to give my music once it's done to someone else to mix and master, for a lot of reasons, because I've listened to it so much. I've heard it so much by that point that I can't listen to it objectively. My mind is focused on certain lines that I'm worried about, and I kind of have a hearing deficit in one ear, so I don't pick up very low tones and very high tones at the same level as other people, and I think it definitely affects how I mix music. And you can tell with the 3 songs that are out, like they're not real. I mean, they're not professionally mixed, you know. And I'm working on a song right now that is just so heavy. There's so much going on that I'm like, I got to find a way to afford to have someone mix and master this, because I really want it to shine to its full extent, and I don't think I can do that. You know, it's just beyond me at this point to mix and master that. No, Halo said I was a heavy weed smoker at the time. My homie said maybe my body just said, "What's this shit?" and just rejected them. Oh, that's funny. Oh, cool. He says I harmonize. Well, thanks. Harmony is my jam. I like to harmonize. I almost like to harmonize more than I like to sing the melody. It just feels so nice. All right, guys. Because I think this has lasted over an hour, even though like it doesn't feel like that. You guys have really, really helped me laugh about my troubles. And yeah, what was the title of this? I feel like an ancient child is what I put in the description. And I do. I feel like the older I get, both the younger and older I feel. You know, I feel more stripped away to like my infant core. You know, like I can't facade, I can't adult facade, or I can't, you know, anymore. It's just, this is just me. You know, maybe that's why people get weirder once the older they get. They start to settle into their weirdness. But it's tiring sometimes. So it's been really nice. You guys giving me some more fuel to put in my train engine. That's so cool. I hope you guys are all doing good. All right, well, I'm gonna let you guys go. Thanks so much, everyone who came and chatted. Seriously, it's been real, homie. Stay safe. You too. All right, guys. I'll see you later.